Hi everyone, in this video I'm going to show you what to do if your weaving wire breaks while you are in the middle of wrapping it around or weaving it. I'll show you both in this case where we're just wrapping it around a single wire, and then I'll also demonstrate if it's like a weaving pattern on several wires. Alright, so say you're doing this and you're far along and then your wire breaks, but you still have to keep going. So what I would do is I would trim it, depending, on how it broke. If the end of it is kind of mangled or something, then I would kind of trim it nice and short, and then I would continue in the direction that you're going and press down on that with my pliers. And then you want to start a new wire. This is 28 gauge wire, and I'm wrapping it around 20 gauge square, but it can be round, it could be anything. It's just that this is a little scrap piece that I found to use for this demonstration. So you would start your new wire and you would make a few wraps just to get the wire nice and attached, going in the same direction that you were going before. And then you would go ahead and trim the little tail end from where you started, and we would just press down on that little end there, make sure it's not sticking up. You want the ends of your wire to kind of line up. They don't have to touch, there can be like a little space between them, but just want them next to each other. And then you want that to be on the back, so that when you go to the front, it kind of looks more or less seamless and you don't see those little wire ends. And then you just continue wrapping that wire around. Alright, so now let's pretend you're doing a weaving pattern and your wire breaks. So I'm going to show you what to do if it breaks in like the worst possible time. So the way this weaving pattern goes is it's wrapped a single time around each of the 3 wires, and then the wire just comes down across all 3, and then the pattern repeats where it's wrapped a single time around each wire. So the best time for this wire to break is when it's wrapped around a single wire, because then it's not going to unravel. But say you're coming across the front here and then it breaks like this. Okay, so now we can't do what we just did with the other example. We can't just press this wire down and start a new one, because this wire isn't connected to anything and it's just going to raise up, because it was supposed to come down across and then start wrapping around this bottom wire, but it didn't quite get there, so it's kind of loose. So whatever weaving pattern you're doing, you have to go back to a time when it was not loose, like when it's wrapping around this top wire here. Except when we start our new wire, we have to wrap it around something, right? So it would be a good time to start a new wire by wrapping it around this top wire here. Otherwise, how are we gonna start our new wire when it just needs to come across down this way? What's it gonna grab onto before it comes across? So I'm gonna have to unravel this little top wrap here, like this. So now we just have a single wrap on the bottom wire, a single wrap on the middle wire, and I just unraveled the top. That's where we'll start our new wire. Here's our old wire on the back. It's coming this way. This is the direction that it's going in. It's wrapped around that middle wire there, so I'm just going to trim it short. And there you can see the little end of it. I'm just going to press it down. Press down on that little wire end, and it should stay. Alright, so this is the back. Flip it back over. Now we're going to start our new wire. So I'm going to take this, have it just right here on top, but I'm going to hold it And then I'm gonna put it underneath that top wire, like this, forms a little wrap, like that, and then we're gonna take that and bring it down across both, like this. That's the pattern. And then we're gonna just repeat the pattern once so the wire is secure. So around the bottom wire, around that middle wire, around the top wire, and down across both, and then it just repeats. Bottom wire, etc. So let's flip it to the back, and we see here this little wire that we started with. It's wrapped just around that top wire there. So I'm just gonna trim and leave myself just a tiny little end. And then I'm just gonna come in and press down on that little end. So now we have both of our wire ends here in the back. All right, so then when we come to the front, it looks seamless and we don't see the wire ends. I'm gonna tighten up that little weave, and you can't even tell that there's been a break in it. So that is how you add more wire if your weaving wire breaks. I hope this video was helpful to you. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.